Welcome to Music Makers. I am your host, Randy Powers, and today we have the very talented singer-songwriter and more from the New Philly area. We are with Zac Pirillo. Thanks for coming in, Zac, and welcome.
Man, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're going to start in with a couple brand new songs in our DNP studio, so let's get right into it. Take it away, Zac.
All right. This song is called Show Me.
Dealing with them voices once again. Keep on telling me I can't win. I'm spinning circles down inside. Can't have it your way all the time. This world will never be on your side. You've lost the will to get up and give it one more try. I know just what I want it to be, and it's nowhere near my reality. Time, it's feeling like the end. So show me yourself. Show me all the little things that make you who the person you become that's made it through. Yeah, show me yourself. Not some made-up imitation for the world to see. Give me all your love and all your energy. You paid the price for every man. Washed us clean in the blood of the Lamb. I know just what I need to be. I knew from the start since you planted the seed. We're running out of time, yeah, it's feeling like the end. Help me with the words so I could tell my friends. Yeah, show me yourself. Show me all the little things that make you the person you become that's made it through. Yeah, show me yourself. Not some made-up imitation for the world to see. Give me all your love and all your energy. Yeah, show me yourself. Oh, yeah. I said, show me yourself. Open up your eyes and pull the veil away, 'cause we are something more than what they tell us.
This song is called Dust on My Bible.
it's been a long few years, surviving day by day, just wondering when it's all gonna end. Now we all been trying and doing the best we can for something we just don't understand. And now the lights, they keep shining across the land, but the darkness, it's got other plans. And I don't know if I'm a good man, but I know right from wrong. I know there's a God, but the devil keeps hanging on. And I've got mud on my hands and dust on my Bible, yeah. Now sin's a good man's brother, it's written in the blood. Take a heart of stone and turn it to mud. I'm thinking about the past, all the bad things that I've done. They took away my mama and my daddy's only son. And I put time in the county, put my life on the line. God said, son, I'm gonna let your light shine. And with my head hanging low, I lifted toward the sky. With tears in my eyes, my only question is why. 'Cause I've got blood on my hands and dust on my Bible, yeah. I've got blood on my hands and dust on my Bible, yeah. Oh, he don't want no rich man married to his gold. He don't want no politician always doing what they're told. He don't want no preacher man looking down on other souls. He don't want no kings or queens. He just wants us to believe. And we don't need no greedy man always knocking at his door. His blessings, they were given, but he keeps on wanting more. Yeah, he'll take all the sinners who gave their life to him, to turn you into winners from the battle down within. I'm gonna wash my hands and dust off my Bible, yeah. Gonna wash these hands and dust off my Bible, yeah. Wash my hands and dust off my Bible, yeah. I'm gonna raise these hands to the coming revival.
We really appreciated you coming in and doing a couple songs for us. Also sitting down and chatting with us. The first song there was Show Me. And then the one after that was on your new release, All the People. That one was called Dust on My Bible. Tell us a little bit about that song.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this album, if you will, All the People, was inspired by that song. That was the first song that I wrote that kind of inspired me to want to use God-given talents and show my respect and do, I guess, an album in that honor. And Dust on My Bible was the first song that kind of came out, and it just happened one day. I was working, cutting hair, and in between clients, I was sitting there, and I always have a guitar in the corners. I just picked that up, and those chords kind of came out, and it was having that old country vibe to where that song just flew out. And then, I kid you not, within that next month, it was kind of like God was telling me, oh, finally, you're going to use your talents, you know, that I gave you for me, to where I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely. And I opened the gate, and literally the rest of that album flew out, pen to paper, fingers to chords, in probably a month to 2 months' time. All those songs were just like every day, a new one would just flow out. So it was hard for me to keep track and keep up, so I was recording them as I went on my phone. That song means a lot to me right there.
That's amazing how one song can kind of inspire an entire CD, which we have in front of us here right now.
Yeah.
You stay real busy with your music, but you're also a painter. You're a hair shop owner.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you used to have your studio downstairs from the DNP studio here.
Correct.
Obviously, you're also a stylist. We will dig into your musical journey, but let's start with some background on your growing up, what you're up to, and where you're at today.
You want me to go clear back? I'm a T County boy, born and raised. Went to New Philadelphia High School, Quaker pride right there. And I was kind of an early age, I got into music. It was, what gave me the bug was I had to be about 8 years old, and right beside us, our neighbors, the Diebold's, Brian Diebold and his brother Aaron were in the marching Quakers, right? So they were in high school. I was 8 years old. Brian had, the whole basement in their house. They had a neighborhood party. So I was in the backyard. I started to hear these beats coming out of his basement. So I was like, walked in the kitchen to get a drink, and then downstairs, I could hear this drum set playing. So I went down there. I heard the drums boom and beat my soul for the first time as a human, right? Like, yeah, Mom has them on the radio and on the record player, but to feel the drums as an 8-year-old rumble and rattle your soul with them tones. And then to hear him, I think he was jamming on like Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. I think I was something back then. Might have been 10 or 12, I think I was. But anyway, had to play the drums from then on. So in school, it was 5th grade. You could finally play an instrument, and it was I wanted to either do the saxophone, which was $750 at the time, and Mom and Dad were like, and then once I got to that itch, I was like, well, I'll do the drum pad. The little drum pad they give you was like $150. So they were like, okay, great. So
Isn't it just like a piece of wood with some felt on it, right?
Yeah, it's like a pad. But then that just led to Christmas. I got a snare drum and a hi-hat. They were like, all right, if you're serious with this, we'll get you a kit, which I had every cardboard box taped up, booming on for my kick drum and everything. So they were like, all right. So got into drums. Played in a band till I was in 8th grade, and then did sports. But I was playing in a high school band, drums. Started playing. We were called, what were we? Motherload, and we were doing the alternative, music, the jams back then. Nirvana, 7 Mary 3, and then they taught me chords. I was sitting around practice. Got into playing guitar through my bandmates, just showing me chords. And then my uncle had a guitar laying around. Next thing you know, I somehow confiscated that guitar from him. He'd never seen it again. He knew I had it, but he never asked for it back, because I just dove into guitar like head first. Learned all my chords, just played by ear. Got into, metal was the thing with drums. So Metallica, anything metal I was into. And then when the guitar hit, it was like, I saw my first Stevie Ray Vaughan video live at the El Macumba.
That'll do it.
And the blood, sweat, and tears that came off of him on that show, and the smoky ass little room that was like, cigarettes everywhere. And to see what he did with that guitar just made me think, I gotta do that. Like, that's where I want to. So I just dove into guitar then, kind of got through that high school, and then started playing out in, open mics and stuff when I was right around 20, 21. So
did you start out playing electric, acoustic, both?
Acoustic, yeah. Sitting around the fires all the time with friends, and Kyle Parrish back in the day. We were always playing music in the fires and having fun. And then started kind of getting serious about it. Early 20s, playing in bands. And
on your solo recordings, do you play all the instruments? Do you incorporate other musicians or guys from your current project?
I do, like probably 99% of the instruments. I do them all. I brought Jan Roll in to play drums on one of the tracks on this latest album, The Other Side. And then Steely Daniel Morris from Cleveland. I don't know if you know him, but we used to be in a band together called the Not So Good Old Boys. And we did this country rock outfit, called it Northern Rock. He's an amazing steel player, so anytime I record music, I always have him in mind. He'll come down, he'll do it for me, we're still tight, so. But majority, it's all me on there.
And you were talking about Jan Roll. He's a local New Philly, Dover.
Oh, yeah. Total legend.
Yep. And you've played with Bobby Stalker, who we had the pleasure of interviewing Bobby with Scott Smalley when they were in Real Steel. It's kind of interesting how you guys all play together and you all know each other. You're all friends and you'll be in and out of bands together and help each other out. I just find that to be so cool.
Yes. I've just been fortunate to be blessed enough to play with those guys, too. I mean, those guys are local legends and they've done it all, seen it all. And for them to allow me to share a stage with them is always an honor.
This next track, Be You, is from your 2023 All the People release. The song is upbeat. It's got a positive message. Impossible not to bop your head to. What can you tell us about this track, Zach?
I was in a band with Will Rockwell. He has a Will Rockwell band. You can check him out. And Daniel Stentz. We played in and out of bands. We actually have a few albums. We did one with we were called the Flat Roots. And then we kind of went to a three-piece. We were with Dan Jones on bass there. Dwindled down to us three. So with Whiskey Zulu, we were writing, Will writes, I write, to where that was one of the songs I kind of came up with at the time, and we played that with that band. And that song kind of, and then the band kind of, we went separate ways. We got different projects now, such as life, such as every band, I still had that song in my belt there to where I was like, that's a good song. I like that song, to where when I did this, that was one song that I had already written, I guess I should say that, before the concept of this album, to where I thought it fit good on this album. And I really wanted to get it produced right in the studio, so that was a fun one.
Well, this is Be You by Zac Pirillo on DNP 102.3.
Everybody's got a little something to say, but you might hear it in a different way. That's alright. That's okay. Oh, can you sleep in the bed that you made? I know I'll be keeping my thoughts to myself for today, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Nothing we can do. Pull up on them big boy pants and get hurrying back to being you. Hey. I put all of my hope in the back of my pocket. With all of my love, I'm gonna walk and talk it tonight. It's gonna be alright. I've been searching for a canvas or two to paint all my thoughts in black and blue just for you and me too. I learned a lesson or two about worrying. Nothing we can do. So pull up on the big girl pants and get hurrying back. shared is a failure to all, and to all success might begin with a fall. That's alright, it's only up from here. Now don't you worry what the others may say. You've got all you need. Don't throw it away, it's okay. It's a beautiful day. Another lesson or two about giving back. All we can do, give it all back if you can. If you hurry back to being you.
That was Be You here on Music Makers DNP 102.3. Today we're chatting with Zac Pirillo about his solo record and his other musical excursions. The art on the release is beautiful and intriguing. Can you describe it for us and where your inspiration came from for that?
Yeah. So the art, those are my hands. I was pondering what's going to be cool. I was thinking, do I put a Bible with dust on it? It's, stuff that would have to do with maybe one of the songs. And then it just hit me one day. The title itself kind of led to the artwork. So all the people just kind of flew into my head because, I would love all the people. This is for everybody, to kind of listen to, enjoy, to where... Do you remember when you were a kid and you put here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, and here's all the people. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use my hands, and the front of the album is the church and the steeple with my hands, and then the back is my hands opened up with all the people. So I kind of thought that might be a cool concept, if tongue-in-cheek, all the people, if you see my hands, you might get it from when you were a kid, knowing how we all did that.
That's very cool. It's a beautiful art cover, and you are also a painter too, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Zac, do you do your own recording or do you go into a studio?
I go into a studio. My friend Rod Short, my brother from another mother, he has a studio in his basement that his son built they've recorded all kinds of music. His wife is Rebby Robinson, and she was a recording artist for years. Rod's been in and out of bands, and their son James Short, who has passed on now, was an incredible musician, and it's an honor to be down there in a studio that his son built, and it really allows me and Rod to be creative together and kind of feed off each other, because that's what I need. I tried the whole do-it-yourself thing, but I need that other ear. Rod is amazing at getting the sounds out that I need and getting them to sound exactly like better than what I thought they could, and he's very well at kind of producing too, like giving me some cool ideas, edits, whatever it may be. But we just have such a great connection, and every time I record, that's where I'm recording. Same with the band too. We record with Rod. So
later, we got some songs coming up from them too. I agree with you. The few times that I've been into the studio, you get so much more feedback from the producer, engineer, studio. What do you call them?
Just guru, a curator of creativity, I guess. Like they get it out of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, certain things you would never think of. You get that third ear on there with the talent, and it really can completely change the complexion of a song or even your overall
sound.
sound.
Like I might be doing something, and Rod would be like, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And it'd be better, and I'm like, awesome, we'll keep that, or he'll get the best out of you, nah, you could do better, do another take, that kind of stuff you need.
What is the name of his studio? Does he do?
Imaginary Friend Studios and Records, yeah, when he puts them out.
Cool. This next song, The Other Side, has some interesting spiritual and catchy lyrical content, and I love the breakdown with the volume swells and the fantastic solos. This is Zac Pirillo with The Other Side on DNP.
Putting us
like I knew they would. Hold tight, the end is in sight. We're just trying to make it through another night. Understand, it's all a crooked plan. Better get yours now before they can. You and I gotta settle the score, make it all better than it was before. Yeah, hey, oh, this is how we roll. Washed in the blood that cleanse our soul. Oh, no, we ain't gonna die, gonna leave this world to meet you on the other side. Hey, oh, we don't wanna go, we've had enough, we can't take it anymore. Oh, my, they sure gonna try, putting us to death, but the dead don't die. From the east to the west coast, down to the down low. From the north end to the south side, let your spirit rise and
You are listening to Music Makers on DNP 102.3. I am your host, Randy Powers. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back to finish up with Zac Pirillo. Welcome back to Music Makers on DNP 102.3. Today we're sitting down with Zac Pirillo. Zac, talk to us about some of your early influences musically growing up and who you listen to today.
All right. Mom raised me on the Temptations, the Beach Boys, a little bit of Elvis in there. When I started like wanting to actually buy music, get music, it was definitely metal, all metal, because like the drums, the double kick, if you're a drummer, you definitely, I would think every drummer goes through a metal phase. But anyway, back then it was Metallica, of course, Megadeth, Pantera, all that kind of stuff, the heavy stuff. And then, yeah, getting into guitar and that whole Stevie Ray Vaughan blues kind of blew me open into the whole entire blues world. I knew how to play chords and scales. Someone showed me the pentatonic scale, right? And that was okay. That was the key I needed. And then it was Eric Clapton and B.B. King in my room, hours on end, just playing by ear to their songs. Thrill Is Gone, that Eric Clapton album From the Cradle, full of 1-4-5 blues in all different keys, to where if you find the key, which I just used my ear and moved my finger up and down, oh, there's the root note, so I knew where the one was, and then the scale was right there. So I just cut my teeth on those records.
So no lessons, drums, guitar, vocals?
I mean, I had I had the schooling of learning how to read sheet music for drums, but that I could still read drum music. You put that in front of me, but no. As far as guitar, no lessons. Just I studied how to get my hands to move to the chords, and then as I kept playing guitar, and then like theory just started seeping into me as I was learning on my own. I was seeing the theory. Then I saw where the octave notes all were. I started to realize what every note's name was just by playing by ear and like figuring out what the major scale does, the minor scale, and then mixing those, and just through, and Allman Brothers, that was a huge influence. Then once Dickie Betts got into that was the first concert I ever went to that was a real concert. Me and Pete Schweitzer, my best friend, were front row in front of Dickie Betts. And that was when I was in my blues zone. So then I got into the jam world, which was like, oh my gosh, there's like a whole nother element to the blues that takes the blues and then they put jazz with it, and then funk, and then reggae, and it all goes into the one mixer, and it's kind of like, wow, that whole world opened up. The Grateful Dead, Fish, String Cheese, all these bands that I got into. Acoustic Hookah from Ohio here, huge influence. Steve Sweeney on guitar is one of my major influences on guitar as far as a mountain jammer, like the Almonds,
Is he related to Patrick Sweeney by chance?
No, he's not, but two amazing, totally different ended guitar players, but rooted in the blues rock.
I was watching a thing the other day, and you had mentioned how a lot of musicians start out metal, and it was a Jeopardy, but it was a rock and roll version of Jeopardy. So they had George Clinton, Moon Unit Zappa, and Dave Mustaine from Megadeth.
Wow.
Dave Mustaine just smoked them. He knew all the R&B stuff. George Clinton
Awesome.
got like 200 points. I think Moon Unit was negative 1,900. It was fun. The musical knowledge that a lot of these metal guys have is funny. We did an in-store years ago with Pantera, and after the in-store was over, Dimebag was going through the store, and he was pulling out all this R&B, Temptations and Four Tops,
yeah.
and he's like, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
You have such an interesting way of presenting your baritone voice. At times it's playful. It can sound sometimes vulnerable. And you have a way with melody that still allows your words to come across as if in a conversation with the listener. Did you have to work on your vocal style, or did that come naturally for you?
Well, I started singing when I was, when I could sing. So I was in like a sunbeam, like a little sunbeam in church, we'd sing. So, and then did a few solo things in church. So I guess I had the singing. I was in choir in high school, to where playing guitar and singing, that was like a new realm, not to just play guitar, but to sing with it then. So learning how to do that, it kind of came naturally. I don't know if it was the drums, because I had that hi-hat rhythm hand. That really, my guitar rhythm was never a problem. That really came naturally. And then, weaving leads and stuff, staying on the beat. A good guitar player usually has started out as a drummer, that I found out in life. Like they know how to drum, too.
It's interesting, though, because you mentioned the guitar playing, somebody being a drummer and then learning how to play guitar, because like Joe Walsh, when you listen to him talk and he'll show you how to play, a lot of the right hand is percussive.
Oh, totally.
And rhythmic.
Yep.
It's not all the how many millions of notes you can hit within a certain time frame. So
exactly. But I will say, like, you asked me about my voice, though, like to where when I discovered I could like my lower register, my wife told me this. She's always like, that's where you need to stay singing. That's where you sound the best. And when I played in a band in Cleveland, the Not So Good Old Boys, we tuned flat. So I was always in 440, and they tuned a half step lower, to where and I was the lead singer in that band, and it was country rock. So my low voice, they loved it. They were like, oh, yeah, we'll keep it there, to where I think it had to do with that tuning, and it made me sing easier lower and more, like you said, I don't know, it was like a vulnerable, I don't know if I felt natural. So I guess it naturally came out, to where if my wife says it sounds good, I trust her to her.
You better. Yeah. I think you also have an interesting natural vibrato as well.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
This next song, Rescue Me, has some serious guitar picking and a bit of that swampy country beat, backbeat. I just love the way your baritone voice bounces around the verses on this one. There's another fantastic lead break, as well as some striking harmonies. Tell us a bit about this one, and was that you doing the Bible preaching in the background there?
Yeah, I was saying the Lord's Prayer in the background. I thought that would be a cool filler for that instrumental part. That song that was another song that just kind of flowed out as far as when I was writing, but it was more of the music came first, and then I was humming what could be lyrics. So has a little breakdown, kind of a jam in it, comes back to the song. So it's a fun one. I like it.
This is Rescue Me by Zac Pirillo on DNP.
Circus in the sand. Hey now, hey now, hey now. You and me, we're gonna round up all we can. Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. One love. Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. One heart, don't let them tear us apart. Want to be free. Rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me. Can you feel vibrations in the air now? Hey now, hey now, hey now. Can you see my soul from over there? Now, hey now, hey now, hey now. One love. Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. One heart, one mind, one step at a time. Now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I'm asking, won't you please rescue me? Rescue me. want to be free. Asking, won't you please come down on my knees? Rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me. Rescue me.
Back with Zac Pirillo on DNP Music Makers Program. This next one is a straight-up rocker off your 2017 release, Something to Say. This one is a driving funk rock number with a biting riff and really cool watery guitar solo effect. Let's jump right into this one. This one is Servant No More.
Keeps moving too slow. One thing that I want you to know, I'm not gonna be a servant no more. You know you want it and you want it done right. Let me tell you that can take all night. I like a challenge and I aim to please, but I'm not gonna be a servant no more. I've been up and down and dragged around. I ain't got no time for fooling around. Gonna take a stand like I've done before. I'm not gonna be a servant no more. Well, I'm not gonna settle for a job well done. Standing at the plate, swinging for a home run. Down at the bottom, looking up from the floor. I'm not gonna be a servant no more. People wanna talk and tell the tale. Never made the grade, but I'm not gonna fail. You can stretch me thin from shore to shore. I'm not gonna be a servant no more. I spend all my time trying to find a rhyme. It's moment to shine, I forgot my lines. Running eight now once again, my friend. To a revolution I must attend. Hey!
Servant No More by Zac Pirillo here on Music Makers DNP 102.3. Zac, let's talk about your current band, Spare Jordans. I get a bit of a Red Hot Chili Peppers jam band, even a Jack White vibe. You guys look like you're having a ton of fun. Can you tell us about this project and how you came up with the name Spare Jordans, spelled S-P-A-I-R, Jordans?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll try to make this quick, but it was a case of, so we've been together about 3 years with this project now, and it stemmed out of Stephen Holman, our drummer, who is also basically our lead singer too, was living out in California for years, decades, and they decided to come back to T County. Him and John were in a band when they were in high school, and we're all from New Philly. We all come from the same stock, and John and Steven had a band called Funkus in high school, and Steven sang in that band too, to where John and I have been in all kinds of bands together. Green Tea, we were in Acoustic Wash, Stereosphere. You know, I did a thing with Stagecoach Robbery that he was his band there. It was a big, fun band that we got to jam with. And then me and John just always have had a connection, always loved playing with each other. So at the point where none of us were in a band 3 years ago, it was like I was just doing solo stuff at the time, to where I was like, hey boys, I just sent a text to him because I knew Steven was home. And I was like, you guys want to get something going? You know, I was like, I'll play bass. I don't care. Let's just get something going, because I love playing bass too, you know. And so we just got together at John's house down in his basement one day, and we started getting a vibe, and we thought, okay, it'd be fun to cover what we cover. We love the 90s. We're all from that nostalgic area. And then we're all from the 90s Bulls era. We're all huge Jordan fans. I even went to his camp when I was in 6th grade, and that's a whole other story. I saved money, and I actually got to meet him.
Wow.
So we're like, and John's got more Air Jordan shoes than all of Tuscarawas County combined. So he's a collector too. So he's in the scene. And Steven, big time, you know, basketball sport kind of fan too, to where I was like, okay, we needed a name. We were going to definitely do this. And name after name, nothing stuck. And one night, you know, but every practice, John would roll in with a brand different pair of Air Jordans on, you know, and making us all just gush over them, to where I was like, I knew I could sell them on something that had to do with Jordan, right? So where I was like, I don't know, what do you think about Air Gordons or something, you know? And he turned his head, like I knew I got something, because John's a hard one to crack with a band name. We've been down this road, to where finally I was like, what about Spare Jordans? And he looked at me, he was like, I like it. And I'm like, okay. And then once that clicked, it was like the floodgates open, like the logo immediately peered into my head. You know, we use a bass guitar and a guitar and 2 drumsticks to create that Jumpman, the famous Jordan logo. And we still haven't gotten busted yet. So apparently it works, because it's not really, anyway. So then the whole vibe came of how we actually wrote songs about the old Bulls players and like situations that went on. One's called Number 2 about Scottie Pippen, the Worm, Rodman, you know. I don't know. They just give us concepts to have fun with. So it's basically some of the funnest times I've had playing music. We're just all friends, you know, so that's cool too.
Yeah, it really shows when you go see you guys play live.
Awesome.
It reminds me a little bit too, because Pearl Jam's initial name was Mookie Blaylock.
Yeah. Yeah, they're into it. Yeah.
That worked out okay for them, right?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You guys switch instruments when you play live?
We do. John and I, we each have a keyboard on stage too, to where we try to add color. We try to do as much as we can as a 3-piece. And, you know, he'll play bass on a few songs. I'll play guitar, you know, we'll switch back and forth and just make it interesting. I think people like that, because it's just not the same old thing all night. And, yeah, a little diversity doesn't hurt.
Well, let's get into one of them here. This one's called These Old Wings. This is Spare Jordans on DNP.
as you're coming down. I feel your love fade for me. Think it's time to pass the crown. My kingdom's falling down. My only crime is lost time that I can't give to you. These old wings I wear thin from carrying the burden within. These old wings I wear thin. Gonna lay my burden down. Gonna lay my burden down. Gonna lay my burden down. Gonna lay my burden.
That was Spare Jordans with These Old Wings. Zach, what are some of your favorite clubs to play around town, either with you doing solo gigs or with the Spare Jordans?
Yeah, so Bud and Tootie's is one of our favorite places to play. As far as local, we've ventured out a few times. We did a gig at the Beachland as the Spare Jordans. We like to play anywhere, really, if we can fit, and if people are into it, we're there. But, yeah, we love Bud and Tootie's. It's always a good spot to play. Anything outdoors.
Well, I want to thank you. It's been a blast having you, learning all about your projects and releases and all the aspects of how you record and the people that you work with. I really am learning more and more by doing this program with Larry Carroll, who has his History of Rock show, 4 o'clock every Saturday. Check that out. About the local music scene here in the Dover, New Philly area. There's just a vast amount of talent, and I love how everybody, they all know each other, they play together, they support one another. As we come out and see some of your shows, will we be able to pick up the All the People CD at your shows?
Yes, sir. My wife can't wait to get those out of the closet.
If you haven't seen Zac play solo or witnessed a Spare Jordans gig, you're really missing out on something special. Zac, again, I want to thank you for stopping in tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Well, until next time, this is Music Makers on DNP 102.3.